Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So I'm pretty sure you guys know we have not traded for the past 2 weeks because we have not gotten any real trade set up. But this week, I am telling you, the last 2 weeks have really been preparing the market for this new week. So let me show you guys what we have. If you look on my chart right now, you can see that the very first market I'm going to be paying attention to is this trade right here. So this is going to be USD card. You can clearly see we have a very clean break, retest, and engulfing. But I'll give you a breakdown of how we plan on entering this market. So using the set and forget strategy. So looking at the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that the weekly time frame is currently bullish because this is clearly the new higher high, and the higher low for that is this one right here. The daily time frame, as you can see that we have currently broken above this area of support and resistance right now. The next point for this market is currently going to be this daily structural point, right? And we are currently above the area of interest, so that is also a good thing. The daily is also bullish, the weekly is also bullish. The 4 hour, we also need the 4 hour to be bullish. As you can clearly see of what I showed you guys previously, it is clearly bullish right now. So what we are simply going to be looking for is for reasons to continue buying until we get to this level right here. So let's go over to the 1 hour time frame, which is going to be our entry time frame. Apparently we missed the entry, which is right here, right? As you can clearly see, we have a clean break, retest, and engulfing. This is supposed to be our entry. We are simply going to be looking for new entries as soon as we see any clean break, retest, and engulfing until we get to this level. So until we get to this level, we'll just be looking for clean break and retest and engulfing to be buying. So that is the first pair I'm going to be paying attention to for this new week, is USD card. So next pair is going to be GPBUSD. So this might actually be some kind of a counter trend trade setup, but let me explain why it's part of my favorite pair for this new week. So coming over to the daily time frame, you can see that we have multiple support and resistance level, multiple rejections from this area of interest. Clearly, it's a very strong area of interest, right? Anytime we came to around that area, even if we were bullish, we actually sold to the downside, right? So multiple rejection from area of interest. Price is currently at area of interest and also had an engulfing with also a doji. So we had two rejections from area of interest on the daily time frame. Daily time frame is technically still bullish, so I understand why this is a counter trend trade setup. Now going over to the 4 hour time frame, I'll show you what we have. You can clearly see that the 4 hour time frame has had a reversal candlestick pattern and is now trending over to the downside, right? So 4 hour is actually bearish, right? So I also need 1 hour to be bearish. So what I plan on doing is waiting for a clean break and retest and engulfing to sell in this market. So I'll be targeting 1:2 risk reward ratio, right? As soon as price gets to 1:2, I'll decide to hold for longer for a potential 1:5 risk reward ratio. So it just depends on the volume of the market, how the market is moving. If it's moving very strongly, I'll continue holding, I'll continue selling and forgetting. So that is the last trade. That is actually the trade I posted right here, right? So you haven't gotten an entry, right? I'll be taking profit at 1:2, or depending on how market structure, I'll decide if to enter eventually. So I actually plan on entering this market as soon as I get the opportunity on Monday or Tuesday, right? So next pair we also have is GBP/USD. So GBP/USD, I explained why we are going to be taking this trade setup. So let's do that again. Weekly time frame. As you can see, weekly time frame, what we just know is that weekly time frame has had that retracement back into area of interest that we're looking for last week, right? So that is one information. Daily time frame has also had a valid retracement back into area of interest, and daily time frame is bearish, right? EME is currently above and we are under area of interest, right? 4 hour time frame, we also have an inverse trend line. As you can see, the reaction from right here is we also had multiple reactions from this trend line around right here, and we are currently reacting from that trend line again. So we are under this level, area of interest, and we are still technically above 4 hour EME, right? So that's why we're looking for this break and retest under this level to sell. So simply what we're looking for, coming over to the 1 hour time frame, is for 1 hour time frame to shift structure bearish for us to be able to sell GBP/USD. So as soon as I get that opportunity, I'll be willing to sell GBP/USD for next week. NZD/USD is another pair, very similar price action to that of GBP/USD, so no much explanation on that one. Next pair we have is NZD card. So NZD card, technically I'll explain what is happening right now. So going over to the daily time frame, you can see that the daily time frame, what we're expecting was a retracement into this area to buy, which was already happening, right? But we did not get any clean break and retest to buy on the 1 hour time frame. That's the only reason we did not actually get our opportunity right here to buy. So now we also have a very strong support and resistance level on the daily time frame right here. So all we have to do is to look for reasons to continue buying, right? So because of that, we'll continue buying with this market right here. So going over to the daily time frame, you can see that daily time frame also have bullish structure. EMA is also under, holding price as support. And over on the 1 hour time frame, you can clearly see that we are also having bullish structures. What we are simply going to be waiting for is the new break and retest above here to continue buying NZD card. So that is that for NZD card. Next pair we have is Euro NZD. So Euro NZD, I'll show you guys what we have right now. So Euro NZD, we the daily time frame is currently bearish, lower low right here, lower high right here, right? But we are currently still technically above area of interest. So we are looking to sell, but we are still above area of interest. So we are not we are going to be waiting for new break and retest under here. So I'll show you guys what we have. So weekly time frame is also bearish. So we have 2 time frame in sync. 4 hour time frame also has some form of left head right shoulder, right? But you can look from the EMA. The EMA is still holding price as support, right? We can't really be selling right now. So what we are going to be looking for is for price to start breaking all under all these lows, start trading other area of interest, under round psychological level. And if you can get good structures around here, we'll be interested in selling Euro NZD next week. As for gold, we do not have any clean direction right now. All we just have is for price to continue selling to the downside from around right here. As soon as we get any form of minor break under this level, we can start selling to the downside on gold. Next pair we have now, these pairs I finished calling, those are my favorite pair for next week. But we also have pairs that I'm paying attention to see how they play out, right? If we not get an opportunity on these pairs I finished calling, then we might start paying attention to NZD JPY, Euro GBP, CAD JPY, GBP AUD, and Euro JPY. So I'll show you what I plan on taking on this market. So this is NZD JPY, looking for a clean break and retest above area of interest to continue buying, right? Euro GBP, looking for price to shift structure bullish to continue buying. I explained this on the longer version of these weekly setups. CAD JPY, looking for reasons to continue selling, right? Because market structure is bearish. GBP AUD, waiting for price to retrace back into area of interest, continue buying. And Euro JPY, waiting for price to have a clean break and retest above this level to continue buying. So those are pretty much the pairs I'm going to be paying attention to for next week. We did not get opportunities for the past 2 weeks. For this week, it's very likely we are going to get opportunities because we are almost paying attention to 11 pairs this week, right? So that's pretty much it. Remember, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Join the Telegram. The link is right here. Just click on this right here. Join this. Click on this one that says Telegram, and that's pretty much it, right? I'll be seeing you guys on the Telegram channel where I'll be calling this market live before they start to happen, right? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys, literally.